going on, guys? J-Pod here, bringing you another Last of Us gameplay commentary. Arsenic is a beast playing Billstown today. And like I said, Arsenic is in the house, and he just beast mode, I swear. Yeah, bringing you this video, a Last of Us DLC speculation video. The Left Behind single-player DLC is slated to be dropping hopefully sooner than later. I'm predicting February 11th. Remember, that is a rumored date. As you all know, the PlayStation Network, if you go into the store there and look at the pre-order for Left Behind, you can see that it has a date on there for March 31st, I do believe, but I'm not taking that with any salt, period. My sources are telling me we're going to see a much earlier release than that, and yes, hopefully we get some news. I was hoping to have some news for you guys today, but I had some gameplay lying around, and I figured, hell, you know, I'll toss something out there. So, here it is. Let's speculate. For starters, I want to go ahead and give a shout out here to Mr. Snacktastic. He dropped a very interesting comment over on the DLC details video of the Left Behind DLC. He said, from the trailer, I think they're actually going to do the opposite, and they're going to go at the exact end of the comics and show what happens after Ellie gets bit. That's a very good point, but I think that's kind of what I was elaborating on. Yes, they are going to delve into the comics, the initial meeting. That was a sweet headshot. But yes, the initial meeting, the two, you're going to see scenes from the quarantine zone. But yeah, I don't think that's where it's going to start, where the comic ends, because I think they're going to do some background story with some characters to really show that relationship between the two, where they met and where Riley sticks up for her with Sony Walkman and the Foleys, etc., etc. But I do believe halfway through the DLC we're going to see the 3 weeks leading up to meeting Joel. That's what I think is what we're going to be seeing. Okay, I mean, doing a quick background check of the Dark Horse comics. Let me bring this up for you here. Here it is. It says, 3 weeks prior to the events to meeting Joel, Riley and Ellie ventured outside the quarantine zone. During that time, they were both attacked and bitten by a runner outside the zone. Given the circumstances, both assumed that they would die and choose to wait for the end together. However, Riley was the only one who succumbed to the fungal infection and died. As a result of her survival, Ellie learned that she was immune to the infection and was later taken into Marlene's care. Riley's death is one of many losses that would attribute to Ellie's survivor's guilt and the sense of responsibility to provide a cure with her immunity. So that's where I think is the DLC. Okay, we're going to see some Firefly action. We're going to see Ellie and Marlene. That's what I think we're going to see, the 3 weeks prior to meeting up with Joel. I think that's what the Left Behind DLC is really going to show. So, sound off below if you guys disagree, agree. Sound off below. I'm really intrigued to see what you guys think. But yes, Mr. Snacktastic's comment about where, how the DLC possibly could pick up where the comic left off, I guess is what he was saying. I don't think that's the case. I think it's going to be adjusted slightly. I think it's going to pick up where Ellie and Riley initially meet each other. And seeing that relationship quickly grow, and then segue or transition into the 3 weeks of meeting Joel where they get bit, and you get to see that gap, that 3-week gap in between where the game starts and the comic ends. I think that's where the Left Behind DLC will its main focus be on. Sound off below if you guys like, if you agree with that. Yeah, let's go ahead and speculate a little more about this DLC. I've also been talking with Mr. Luke Sparrow, and he doesn't feel bad one bit if there's not any weapons in there. I mean, yeah, we all know Ellie's going to have her badass little switchblade, but yes, it's going to be a deep story narrative. That's what I think this DLC is going to be. I don't think we're going to see a lot of action. Yes, we're going to see the occasional flicker or a runner, but we've seen all of that. What we as the fans, what we want to see more is background story, that the love, the compassion, that deep relationship between these strong characters. That's what we want to see, and I think that's what Naughty Dog's main focus on, is the relationship between Ellie and Marlene, and Ellie and the Fireflies. So I think that's where the focus is going to be on. But let's go to weapons. Okay, this is kind of a hot topic for me. I don't know about you guys, but I really want to see some new things implemented. not so much mechanics and gameplay. I mean, that would be cool as well, but I want to see some new weapons, you know, especially for Ellie, now that we know that we're going to be playing as her as a character, the focal point being on her as the playable character. I would like to see some new weapons. You know, I mean, yeah, you know, the spiked pipe is awesome, the spiked bat's awesome, but I want to see Ellie with the fucking hatchet. That's I mean, call me sadistic, but Ellie with that fucking hatchet, that'd be chopping shit up. But again, that goes back to, we might not see any action at all. I mean, we might see a little, but I feel pretty strong about this. I don't think we're going to see as much as what you guys are thinking. You know, going back to Luke Sparrow, you know, he agrees with me. I think it's going to be real deep in the story narrative. It's going to be real plot driven. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a lot of cinematics too. I don't think we're going to get a lot of hands-on playtime. You know, my guess for this DLC and the duration of the DLC, I'm going to say 4 hours. No more than, no less than 4 hours. I give or take around 4 hours. You know, depending on if you like to explore, if you like to pay attention to detail, if you like to delve deep into the story. You know, yes, it might take longer. Like me, you know, I like to pay attention to every little detail it has to offer. I'm going to be exploring for Easter eggs. I'm going to be exploring for Ish notes. You know, I'm looking for some notes. I'm hoping to see something from Ish. And if we do see a new note from Ish that we haven't seen in the game, that it's going to be seen in the DLC, I mean, my head's going to explode. Okay? I want to see Ish. I want to play as Ish. And who knows? If this DLC takes off really strong, we might see a second single-player DLC, because I wanted to touch very loosely on this. The PlayStation 4 ported version of The Last of Us, 1080p at 60 frames a second. That's going to be fucking awesome. But how is that going to be implemented with the PS4? Are they going to release a Game of the Year edition, which includes Season Pass? You know, all of the DLC doesn't necessarily have to be out. You know, if you got Season Pass, you're already prorated to get it anyway. So, yeah, release a Game of the Year edition for the PS3 and the PS4. I think that's what Naughty Dog has up their sleeves. But, yes, I'm getting off sidetrack here. Got to wrap up the video. Going back to, I don't even know where I got sidetracked from. I'm just really, really excited for this DLC. February 11th, you know, don't hold that to me, but I would really like to see it on February 11th. And this news that we're waiting on, I don't think it's going to be a teaser announcement. I think it's just going to be an Eric Monticelli PlayStation blog. And as soon as that story hits, whether it is a teaser trailer or thumbnails or a big article, story, interview with Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley or whatever comes out in the month of June, I'll be the first person to have that. So if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, be sure to click that subscribe button, because that's the only way you're going to get it. I mean, not the only way, but the quickest way to get it is just swing by the channel. I'll have that news waiting on you guys. Yeah, wrap up the video. If you guys enjoyed the gameplay, again, it wasn't nothing major. It wasn't anything too fancy, but it was solid gameplay. But so, if you guys enjoyed it, be sure to click that green thumbs up button, that like button. I greatly appreciate that. That really motivates me to make another video. Until next time, enjoy the rest of the gameplay. I gotta get the hell out of here. I got things to do. You guys got things to do. Take it easy, and peace out.
Dead! Watching smoke! Firefly! Right there! Fuck! Boom. Down one you. I can't fucking see! That one's dead! Just a few of those fuckers left! fire. Shit!
Bomb set. Watch your ass. Turret down. That one's dead.
Come on, let's finish him off. There must be just a handful of them left alive.